Grow muscles and memorize, play with them and play with them. In my opinion, this is the best place to start. Yes. Play with them and play with. You guys want me to explain that to you? Play with them and play with them. What that means is you play with a woman, you play with her. You say, well, that's manipulative. Yeah, it is. But it's playful and she enjoys it and you enjoy it. It's game. That's why you want to know why women have a problem with the word game, because it sounds like it's like you're being something you're not. Play with her and play with her. So you're playing with her and then you're playing with her. What that boils down to is just get it. And I just saw this. I forget who it was. Somebody on Twitter was saying, was talking about how like she wishes men would just get it. And I'm like, red pill guys don't get it. Like, Jesus Christ. Have you like read my book? I mean, literally that's a chapter in the first book. Just get it. Literally in the very first book, 2013. Just get it. Women want women want men who can read their minds, who just get it. Because the guy who just get it is the guy who doesn't have to explain he's fucked, 100 girls. He's the guy who gets it well enough to not say anything about it and show her in bed that he's fucked 300 girls. He gets it. He can play the game. He can play it. When a woman gives him a shit test and he responds with a neg hit, or he passes that shit test, or he turns it around on her, it's not the actual exchange. It's the fact that he knows women's nature well enough that he can get past that and still play with her. I'm making myself clear. Maybe I'm not. But in that exchange, she understands that there's this sort of, it's like fencing, right? It's thrust, parry, riposte kind of thing. It's like knowing how to dance, knowing how to play, knowing the conversation, knowing that she's not serious about this. She's fucking with you, and you know she's fucking with you. And so you respond by fucking back with her. You're not explaining this. It's not like you're going, okay, well, I see that you just gave me a shit test, and so now I'm going to use this one on you, and you're explaining the game. Women don't want to have the game explained to them. They want somebody who knows how to play it, who just fucking gets it. That's why. He didn't have, like, when women hear that you like listen to Rollo Tomassi, I get this, I got this constantly, so I might as well answer this right now. Guys will tell me, Rollo, should I tell her that I watch you? Should I explain that I'm a red pill guy? Should I say what I mean to mean what I say? No, that's blunt force. That's not strategy. That's attrition is what that is. That's like meeting strength with strength. Don't do that. Women only really the subtleties of game, the subtleties of interpersonal relationships with women, it revolves around just getting it. It revolves around playing with her and playing with her. So it's a game of strategy rather than brute force. And so when guys say, well, Rollo, it should be direct. Everything should be direct game. You should just tell her straight up front that, hey, are you down to fuck? Like that ought to be it. And I know that that's not mode one. And I know that Alan Roger Curry, bless his immortal soul. And I know that, but the point is that there are times for direct game and there's times for strategy, and more often there's more time for strat. Most guys who are in the 80%, they can't rely on direct game because they have to find some way to show that they have value added. How do they do that? By playing the game very well, by winning the war with strategy rather than winning the war with attrition. There's really two ways to win a war. One is with, and this applies to pretty much, the dating market and anything else. So you want to achieve something, right? With two ways to win a war. One is with attrition. Throw enough bodies against it and hope that you can outlast your opponent. It's blunt force for blunt force. It's direct game, right? It's just like bap, 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 bap. It's like strength for strength. And whoever has the most bodies to throw into the meat grinder, that guy usually is the one that wins in the end. But usually at the end of that, it's a Pyrrhic victory because you had to spend more bodies and you had to put more resources towards that victory than you have left over once you've won the battle, right? Then there are wars that are won via strategy. And this is where guys think, oh, it's sneaky. You're playing games. It's manipulative. Real men don't do that. No, real men understand strategy. Trust me. And it's much better to win via strategy than it is to like outflanking, outmaneuvering, battling of wits. You want to know how the 80%ers defeat the 20%ers or the 4.5%ers? It's through strategy. It's through technique. It's through tactics. It's through strategic thinking and grand strategy, basically, like seeing the forest for the trees, right? It's because on any in any other realm, most of these guys would not be able to win that battle or to be able to even be competitors in that field without that strategy. So, for instance, when we talk about amogging, like alpha male other guy, when that guy is clearly a superior player than you, it's the guy who can keep his wits about him, the guy who's an 80%er and he's confronted with Justin Waller and he wants to swoop in and take the girl that he's been working, like that he'd been like working on gaming for a while. And he's just clearly better looking, taller, has more stuff. The guy who has the strategy to figure that out and can like respond to that and still come off looking like he's the superior, that strategy, because he can't defeat a Justin Waller on his own, at his own game. But if he can strategically think and find techniques and ways, a game, really social intelligence, he can win that battle. So there's two ways to win a battle: attrition, blunt force trauma, and then there's strategy.